What's up, guys? I'm live here. I hope everybody can hear me. Um, just popping on. I'm going to see how this works out with my new little improvised setup. See if I did all right with it. Who knows? I don't even know. I'm not even sure anybody can hear me or see me or anything like that. Um, just having my tea here. It's a very chilly day here in New Jersey. Relaxing, maxing. Me and Sunkiss had plans to do a stream today, but it got postponed, and we're going to try to do it. Well, I'm going to try to join in with her on Saturday, so that should be wonderful. I hope everybody out there is doing good. Yeah, I don't know. I popped on. I kind of want to test it out to see again if my audio is all right with this, if it's glitching out or like acting whacked out or anything like that. So I'm doing a little test here with it, and I might talk a little bit about Hermeticism. I know that the title is Hermeticism, but I don't know exactly if I'm going to talk about that because I don't even know if you can hear me. So I see that, I don't know who's over here, but if anybody is here in the chat, if they want to say if they can hear me, that would be great. That would be wonderful. And of course, we'll see. We'll see how it goes from here. I do have a link for the StreamYard. I don't know if I'm going to be adding people on because I don't know exactly how that works. Hey! Hi, Ian! Hey, boo, hey! Jeez. I so wanted to talk to you today, with the stream, but hopefully, well, I don't know, you might be working on Saturday. Shit. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if you want to come on here. I don't know how to do that. I know that there's some link where you share, you can add people. It says, oh, that's great. Loud and clear. That's good to know. Okay. Let me take a sip of my tea. Hopefully that's not loud and clear. Yeah, but we'll see. I don't know. I don't know if I should talk about Hermeticism. I know, it was new to me up until maybe like a year ago, maybe a little bit longer than a year ago. And I started, I bought the Kabbalion, which was a great book. You can read through it pretty fast. I feel like it's not a very long book. It's not a very mentally intense or dense book to read. Hi, Call for Zero. Oh my goodness, I have 2 people here. That is amazing. That is great. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys like to hear about Hermeticism, or if you guys do want to get on here with me, I can figure out how to get the link out. I know it says I can invite people, and I believe that I can copy the link and paste it somewhere. I just don't want like random weird people showing up because this is like my first time even using StreamYard. So I don't know how that even works, or I don't know what to do with that. I don't know, maybe you guys have some clues on it, perhaps. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm trying to read the chat here while I do this. Just nice, very good. I gotta figure it's super yucky over here. It's like rainy and super cold, and it's almost like ice rain. So I need to figure out something to cook that's warm and heats up my house. It's always nice to do stuff like that on yucky kind of days. Yeah, that's really cool. Oh, that's so nice. My first stream where people are actually in here. Sally Sue did help me out, like, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago. She was with me real early in the morning. It was probably way too early for anybody on the West Coast to be awake even. And she helped me out. And for like 20 minutes, my mic was not even working at all. So I was sitting there talking to myself about my birds out in my backyard, thinking I'm like spreading this knowledge about these freaking birds in my backyard. Meanwhile, nobody can hear me for 20 minutes. Absolutely insane. Thank God for Sally Sue. She came through and she was like, "Is your mic working yet? Can you use your microphone?" I was like, "Oh shit, you gotta be kidding me." So that was, God bless her. I hope she, well, I know she's doing it right, and we'll be talking with her soon, I'm sure. Yeah, I don't know, guys. So I know everybody's just listening. I'm not super entertaining. I don't know. I should have like planned this a little bit better to schedule. So maybe people would want to hop on here um, with me, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm actually not even going to be on too crazy long. I do have some stuff I have to do in a little while, but I wanted to try it out and see, make sure everything works. So if I do want to do something, more not so impromptu, right? Some little pre-planned things, I'll be able to set it up and I won't really have much of an issue with that. I don't know. So I guess I'll talk about Hermeticism because I really do think it's um it's a helpful philosophy for people who don't necessarily have like a religion that they stick to or any type of strict ideology about the creator or the spirit, whatever you want to call it. And I think that fits a lot of us. And you can, this is what's really cool, is you can actually be probably religious and still get useful information out of the Kabbalion and the Hermetic principles, because really they fit anybody who's living and breathing right now. Anybody who's living and breathing could probably get something from it. So I think that's cool. And I guess maybe I'll talk about it. I don't know. I do have some notes because I was going to actually record a video today, but I don't know. That's kind of a pain in the ass. And then one of the things on my tablet, you can't screen share. Like even right now, I cannot screen share. And I tried to get in contact with StreamYard and they said it's not available for iPad yet, which stinks because, I did want to show like some slides and everything like that, which is super weird. I don't know. That's fucking weird. A lot of people have tablets nowadays. And, I didn't have a tablet until a few weeks ago. So before that, I was doing everything on my phone. You would think that they would be up to date with what they're doing. Anyway, I'm rambling here. Oh, that's awesome. Cool for Zero. I don't remember where you're from. Are you, I should know this because I chatted with you so much on the We Are Awake. Yeah, you know what, Ian? I figured that, and I don't know, when I'm trying to record a video, I I don't know. I get more maybe anxiety, which is weird because I do have a certain level of anxiety right now. But when I'm making a video and then I'm over analyzing it, I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh shit, can you hear my bird? Because my bird is super loud. And I'm like, I know people hear my fucking bird. But then I'm like, but who cares? Maybe they do hear my bird, Mary. Why don't you chill out and stop it? I don't know. It's YouTube and doing these streams is like such a weird thing. Oh, south side of Las Vegas. That's cool. That's cool. So your weather is probably pretty stable. I don't know. I'm trying to go into a Clydesdale Christmas event. That's super cool. So Clydesdales are those giant horses, right? They're like super sturdy, built like a Clydesdale. That's what that is? Wow. Yeah, I want to say it's around almost no rain. Oh boy. And that's not good in a lot of cases, right? Though I'm sure I know it's a pain in the ass to have too much rain because we get a lot of rain sometimes. Really tall. Oh, I see. It's so funny. Somebody down the street from me has a giant blow up Clydesdale. I'm assuming it's a Christmas decoration. And it's this giant blow up horse with a wreath around its neck. I think it's pretty cool. I don't know the significance of the Clydesdales around Christmas though. Oh, wait a minute. Are those the horses that pull carriages in the snow and they have like fuzzy feet or like furry, hairy feet? Not feet. That's not the right word. Hoofs. They have hairy hoofs. That's cool. Yeah, I'm excited for Christmas. I know a lot of people probably don't even do Christmas and or they don't do the holidays or they don't do any of that, but I'm full sucked into this, Christmas. Jingle bell all the way. That's how I feel. And everybody around me is kind of a Grinchy. They're very Grinchy. And I'm like, "Oh man, you can't be Grinchy about me around me because you're just gonna get aggravated." I have like jingle bells on my boots practically. I'm not kidding. I bring it all, I should watch this. Hello, guys. Hello. So I'm in my guest room and I had to move all of my plants because my whole house is filled with plants. I'm a crazy plant lady. So now I have all my plants in my guest room and I mean, it's a jungle in here. It's really kind of crazy, but I like it, and I like my plants. And then my little daughter put this thing. I have a hibiscus tree. I know this is like super random, but um, yeah. So I have to rearrange my whole house to to decorate for Christmas. Yeah, but it's great, and I like it. Um, I don't know. I guess Christmas is super commercialized. And, the older I get, I do realize and I see it more. I see how they take advantage of people with the fucking Christmas music starting, immediately. Actually, some of it was playing like before Thanksgiving, which is kind of whacked out. But I know why they do it. And now I have Amazon sent because I ordered a lot of gifts off of Amazon. And now since I got them already, they keep sending me messages on my phone, which they never did before. And they're probably like, wow, she shopped early this year. Let's see if she could keep on spending money and keep on doing all this. Let me read some of this chat. Oh, that's right. The Budweiser cart. Yes. Wow, I wonder, Call for Zero, you could probably grow stuff all year, right? I don't know what zone you're in. You must be in zone like, I don't even know. What zone is Las Vegas? 9, 10? That has its faults too, though, right? Because then I can imagine in the summer you would actually have to set up like shade cloth to grow. Um, I know even here I'm zone 7 because we're kind of like temperate. It's like, 34 is the coldest. Yeah, 34 is the coldest. Yeah, so I would say, I mean, I don't know, that might be 8. That might be more like 8 because you don't get but I think the zones are also like how many consecutive days you could have any given degree. Like here, zone 7, 7B or 7A, I can't remember. And we can get to, on average, we get to like 19 degrees in the winter, but it could get down to 0 for sure. So winter here, we can't grow anything. And that's the thing too. A lot of my stuff, like this hibiscus I brought in, I had it outside all summer. And then I wanted to try to save it to see if I could overwinter it. But of course, they cannot survive in our freezing ass, frosty, Northeast winters. 114. Oh my God. 114. That's like death weather. No kidding. That's legitimate death weather. 114. Oh my God. And what do? You have to stay inside. You can't, you won't even be able to go outside in that though. Dude, well, yeah, I imagine that it would just be too damn hot. And yeah, they do sell shade cloth. It's like a thin fabric that you would have to kind of set up with poles and like tent it over the plants. Um, which is, if I lived out there, that's for sure what I would be doing because I could not live without a garden. I I am such a wild woman that I need to be in my garden. So I would be putting up some shade cloth, but it's so much more work with water, particularly this past summer here. um, we were in a drought actually, which is not super typical for New Jersey, but we were in a drought. We did not have rain for like, and I know everybody from California and stuff is probably like, oh, shut the hell up. You guys are like in perpetual drought. Although I heard that you've got some good rainstorms recently. Anyway, yeah, we were in such a bad drought this summer. It didn't rain for like 2, 3 months, which is our whole summer essentially. And my plants struggled so bad. And the pest pressure, when your plants are like struggling and they're weak, the pests come in and they just want to tear it up. So it was not great. And then I had these damn chipmunks come through, and I was actually looking for ways to um, dispatch, is what the polite word is, dispatch these chipmunks, but I did not. I didn't kill any of our furry friends. Um, yeah, but that's tough, man. That's really tough. Oh, 114. I really can't even imagine. I think the highest we've gotten here, and it did happen over the summer, we had, a couple heat waves, was maybe like and we're talking the real feel, not the legitimate, temperature, the air temperature. The real feel was probably like 109, but the actual temperature was probably closer to 104, 105, something in that range. And that was hot as hell. I mean, 114. Wow, wow. Death Valley. Oh my God. Yeah, the name says it all. The name says it all. I wonder how far is what is that desert out there? I think it's in California though. What is it? Mojave, something like that. And there's really cheap land. You can buy, I think it was like 19 acres for like 15K, $15,000. That's probably because you can't do anything in a freaking desert, right? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I just saw this video on YouTube. This realtor, he goes like all over, and right now he's in California, filming all the dire situations, let's call them, right? The travesties and the homelessness. But he's also did something about this. The largest city in California is actually just a giant desert that they planned on making into a city. Hi, Sunkist. Oh, I love you. I love you. I do have a StreamYard link if you wanted to come on here. I know you probably don't, and I'm actually not going to be staying terribly long. I just wanted to test this out and see how everything works, like if my audio is good. And so in the future, if I have more of a plan, I can do an actual stream. Oh, no kidding. Call for zero. I'm going to have to look at a map. Oh my God. Can you imagine? So not only are you in a desert, you're on a fault line. Oh my goodness gracious. There's so many things that over here, like on the East Coast, we don't really experience. Earthquakes are definitely one of them. I mean, tornadoes mostly, right? We don't get that either. Earthquakes, that like scares me. Oh my goodness, that and sinkholes. Sinkholes are like top tier of my freaking what the hell scary list. Sinkhole. Imagine, I know Florida has a lot of those, and I used to have nightmares. Like, can you imagine this giant sinkhole opening up? But earthquakes are another one. We had one earthquake in New Jersey. It must have been like probably 10 years ago or more. And I was one of the only people that felt it. A couple people in the area felt it, but it was the first earthquake we've had in like forever. We don't get that stuff here. But I do remember my coffee cup was like shaking and I could see the tea in my coffee cup sloshing around. And then I looked outside and I could see like the wires, the telephone pole wires like bobbing around a little bit. But that's the only thing I felt. Now, over there on the West Coast, I can imagine. I mean, well, I've seen videos. That's some scary, scary stuff. That is terrifying. Imagine you're sleeping too. I mean, oh my God. I'm thankful. I'm thankful and I send my heart out to everybody who does live in like some scary ass weather and sandstorms. Weather is wild. Weather is absolutely wild, especially nowadays with the fact, excuse me, the fact that we don't know exactly what they're doing with the weather. Well, we have a good idea, but we don't know exactly what they're doing with it. Um, oh, I have 4 people here. Hello, 4 people. Man, I'm like super popular. Jeez, guys. I'm kidding. Well, you guys know I'm kidding, obviously. Yeah, I don't know what to talk about. 5.5 is pretty bad. What? You feel like 5.5 is not bad? I think really like if I had to think back and I could probably look it up on my phone, the one that we had in New Jersey was like man, you are probably laughing your asses off at me. It was like a 2 or something like that. And that's the same thing with our tornadoes. We get like once in a while we'll have a tornado here, but they're like not really tornadoes. They do damage, they tear some stuff up, but they're like very low on the severity scale. We don't get anything like that. We get the hurricanes, but even so, I should knock on wood because next thing you know, we'll have a damn hurricane next season. Yeah, we don't. We're pretty lucky here. I guess we get snowstorms. That's probably some bad stuff that we get. That's about it. Damn. And I know, yes, what's funny, Sunkist, we had looked in because we really want to move out of New Jersey. Me and my family are born and raised here, but we don't, um, let's say we don't really fit in here. I mean, we do, I love New Jersey for what it is. I really do. We have a lot of great stuff here, but we want property and it's just so expensive here. We would never be able to get property. So that's one of our main reasons for wanting to move out and more freedom to do what we wish on our property, right? But so we looked at Texas. I looked at Texas. I looked at Arkansas. I looked at Missouri. I looked all over, really, South Carolina. And I was so surprised to find out that Texas actually gets most of the tornadoes. Texas gets, I think they, like, on the average that they did, Texas is where the freaking tornadoes are. I had no idea. I thought, of course, I'm thinking of like, what is that movie? Uh, what the hell is that movie? With the yellow brick road. Why can't I think right now? Anyway, The Wizard of Oz. And I'm thinking like, Kansas. Kansas is gonna have all the tornadoes, right? No, Texas. How crazy is that? I don't know exactly where you are, but I was looking at North Texas because I don't want it to be crazy hot. And I think North Texas is close to Oklahoma, right? It borders Oklahoma, I believe. And I think they have a little bit more of a mild weather situation where it actually does get like a little chilly even. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I want to get the hell out of here though. I know that it's too expensive. Uh, that's one of the main things. It's so expensive here. Everything is so expensive here. Our taxes are insane. And then I hear, so a lot of my friends actually moved away from here and they tell me what their property taxes are. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. They're paying like a couple $1,000s a year for property taxes. West Texas. I see. I see. Okay. So well, I don't really, I'm not super familiar with the areas in Texas. I wish I was because it's a giant state. I do know that much. I don't know what to talk about, guys. What should I talk about? I did want to talk about Hermeticism, but I don't know if anybody is really interested in that. You know, I don't even know. I don't know. I have my book, I have some of my notes. I mean, maybe, I guess maybe I will talk about it. And if anybody does want to get the link to come up here with me, I'm really, honestly, I'm only going to probably be on here for like another, oh, Sunkiss, you're the best. Uh, I have so many things I want to say to you, but I'm not going to do it on live because that would make me one of these freaking weirdos who, like, you know, gives too much information on the internet. And I used to be like that when I was in my 20s and I was just popping off on Facebook because I didn't even get Facebook until I was probably like 21 or 22. I was super late to the game, I guess, allegedly. And I would send all my stuff out there every time me and my boyfriend were fighting, or every time this happened with this. And I'm like, man, you got to chill out. The internet does not need to know all of these things. Mare, take it easy. I don't know. Maybe I will. I am gonna talk a little bit about Hermeticism, or not even just so much that, just my feeling about um where we are, like what this reality is, maybe, and how what am I looking for? How we're interacting with it. So one of the main things about Hermeticism, the first principle, is that the universe, which we're gonna call the universe, the creator, spirit, God, whatever you want to call it, is mental. So they like to say it's almost like the creator has made us in his mind, and this is all our reality, our base reality, is an invention inside the creator's mind. And this is similar, I want to say, to the Buddhist teachings, where they say that the Buddha is meditating under the tree, and in his meditation is where our creation comes from. So I think that's beautiful. Honestly, I think that's beautiful. And I think that could very well be. Now, I want to preface this because I know and I see a lot of stuff on YouTube and really everywhere. I think people just do this. They have these ideas, and we love ideas. That's what we need. We need ideas. But let's just put it out here. None of us know exactly what our reality is. And none of us know what happens when we die. So my assumption is just as good as anybody else's assumption. And, I get a little bit aggravated sometimes when I hear people putting down other people's assumptions as if their own assumption is like the right one. You know what I mean? Because it's not. We're all, what is that saying? We're all just trying to walk each other home at night. And I believe that's true. Nobody knows what this is for sure. I mean, you know what? Maybe some people do. Maybe these, the lizard people, maybe the lizard people know exactly what's going on. But you know what? To be honest, I'm starting to doubt that also. I think they let us think they know more than we do. But in reality, we were all created by the creator. We are all here. These people, all that separates is they have more money than us. That's it. These people are like a piece of shit on the bottom of a shoe. I mean, really, they are no different from anybody. You know what I mean? They make us think that. And then we create that reality for ourselves, thinking we are less than. But in the reality, we were all spit out here onto this planet together to, for lack of a nicer turn of phrase. But they're no better than us. They just have more money. That's it. And it's us who put ourselves lower on the chain. We are not lower. We are not lower at all. Oh, hey. Hey, Mark. I love you guys. This is great. I'm vibing here. I'm vibing here. I almost wish I had like a little bit more time, but I really don't. So it'll be like another 10 minutes or so. We'll see. Yeah, so our reality, uh it's so weird as you grow older. Like, I've been through these stages, and I did make a video about this, and it really is just so wild how it goes. When I was younger, I believed aliens were out there. That was like one of my first conspiracy type things when I was like 10, 11 years old. I always looked at the stars and I was like, there has to be more. There absolutely has to be more. We are not here alone. And then I would ask the people at my church, the pastor, and of course, they do not want you to ask about aliens because he just told me we can't know that. And I would ask things about God, like, where did God come from? And of course, a 10-year-old does not want to hear, well, God just always was, which actually makes sense to me now. But anyway, now I do not believe there are freaking aliens flying around in UFO ships. I don't believe that at all. If there is UFOs, I have one of two options in my brain. They are completely machinery that we have built on here on Earth, our machinery, and we fly them up, and it's advanced technology, no more, no less. Or actually, the UFOs are possibly us from the future, and we're like blipping in and out of realities. Time traveling. I know some people are probably not down with that, but I kick that around in my brain. But I do not believe that on other planets there are beings. I believe our reality that we're in right now is actually a closed off system, and there could be other dimensions of reality out there. And I'm almost positive that there are. Oh, hi doggy. My doggy just came in here. All right, go lay down. Um, so I am almost positive that there's other dimensions of reality that we cannot perceive right now. I do believe as we evolve and our perception becomes greater, we will perceive more things, and this is where we'll start to see, and it happens now. Psychic phenomenons happen, and I think that's all just an evolution of going into a higher dimension of consciousness. But I do not believe that there's little men on other planets that come and visit us. Again, if anything, I think they're hopping in and out of dimensions. All right, Cash. Oh my God, my dog is about to knock my whole thing over. Go lay down, buddy, please. Uh, yes, yes. Call for zero. That's it. That's it. Okay, and you nailed it. So I think aliens, spirits, ghosts, things like that, I think they are all in the same category of otherworldly phenomenon. I think they're all on a different frequency. And people, they tend to use the terminology of, maybe it's like switching a radio dial, and sometimes you pick up like a weird station, right? And we're on one station, but we can occasionally tune into a different station. I do believe that that's where the alien phenomenon, the ghost, all of these different things, I believe that they're all in the same realm. And I've personally experienced ghostly things. Um, I've experienced phenomena in the sky. I've experienced all these things. Psychic, I have a lot of psychic stuff, and I will be doing like a different stream, hopefully on all things psychic, because I'm like fascinated by it. And actually, a little psychic intuition happened to me with Sunkissed a little bit earlier. I was out taking my dog to use the backyard, and before, because I knew we were supposed to do the stream, and I just said in my head, I said, I think we're going to be rescheduling. And I came back in, and it turns out, yes, we are going to reschedule the stream for Saturday, Sunkissed stream. I mean, and these things happen to me a lot, and I'm just so fascinated by it because it tells us that our reality is much more than we are able to perceive right now. Um, man, it's just, I love thinking about that and doing thought experiments of, what is this, and how does it tie into our own, meditations and own spiritual practices, not necessarily religious, or maybe particularly not religious. Um, but all of these things, they just fascinate me and I love it. I could think about this stuff forever, and then you get lost in the sauce and you kind of have to weasel your way out of it. Timeline. Let me just check on the chat here. Wow, that's great, Mark. Different timelines equals planets equals plane. It's yes, yes, that's insane. Just think about that. I wish I could share my screen because there could be so many illustrations that help people digest it. Which is going back to Hermeticism and the Kabbalion book. I feel like since it is such a simple read, it's good to read it because you can actually start to envision what different perception would look like. Now, a lot of these things, I'll be honest with you, a lot of the things in this Kabbalion book I had already known intuitively. And so it was kind of, it was weird actually. It was very weird when I read the book because, again, I did know these things. It was just some sort of intuition. I didn't know how to perhaps put into words. But so when I read it, it was like a confirmation that, okay, there is something to this. You've been thinking this, you just didn't have the proper terminology for it, or the way to put it into words, coherent sentences at least. But, it was fascinating. And then other parts of the book, I didn't necessarily quite understand. And I actually still reread this book quite often when I'm, waiting for my daughter or anything like that. And I have a little couple minutes. Um, I do reread some of the chapters because they actually tie in together into this tapestry of life, you know. Fascinating stuff. I have spoken with possibly 300. Wow, wow. They are, wow. So wait, they don't know what they are? Or you're saying I don't know what they are or where they are really? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. How spooky. Spooky in the best way possible, though. Wow. That's intense. It makes that's like a whole, I really could talk about this for so long. That's like a whole different thing because then you wonder, are these entities, we'll call them, are these entities um, actual disembodied spirits that have lived human lives? Or are we possibly connecting with things that we would more liken to aliens? Or, I don't even like the word alien because I guess it works. So, are they like alien uh, entities that, or maybe is there any difference at all between any of them? Do we go on to become aliens after we die? We don't know. You know what I mean? This is why, like, my assumption is no better or worse than anybody else's assumption. I mean, for real, we're all just trying to figure it out. We could totally turn into little green men when we die. How do we know? We don't. Wow, it's insane. I wonder if man, that I don't know. But for some reason it makes you feel less easy if you feel like you're talking to an alien, right? Like if I feel like I'm talking to a spirit of somebody, like there was an old man who passed away in the house that I bought, this house right here, and I'm actually in his room right now, which is cool. I never felt anything weird in this house the moment we stepped in. When we were looking at it, I never felt any strangeness, and I have felt strangeness in certain houses we looked at, very bad vibes in certain houses that make you want to run away screaming. My house is like totally cool, but would I feel different if I knew that it was the little old man that used to live here if he was talking to me? I feel like I would be a little bit easier than if I knew it was, Sargon from planet, you know, planet full of baloney. I ask, do you stay here? I wonder if I could put this up. How do we do that? Oh, check that out. I just learned something new, guys. Here we go. I tap on the thing and it brings it up. Check me out. Check me out learning how to do the clicks on the computer devices. I asked, do you stay here or leave sometimes? The answer here. Wow, wow, interesting. Do you ever get the feeling that they are of of our persuasion? Do you think that they were like people at one point, or are they energies of the plane or of the realm? Like my beautiful Monstera speciosa next to me. Maybe my plant has a spirit. I believe the plants probably do have spirits actually, but it's a whole different thing. Wow. Wait a minute. Hold up. Holy moly, guys. Check out what Mark just said here. Alien. That's insane. Neil Armstrong. Alien. What? Oh my goodness. Shadow seems to be the progression. Yes, yes. I agree. I agree, Call for Zero. I really do. And, I know that a lot of people get that feeling that it's lies and misdirection. But I would like to, work on like, but where is the misdirection coming from? Because it's my belief, again, it's just a belief. I don't believe that the creator, source, spirit, whatever, I don't believe source is here to um, misguide us or make us think whacked out shit that's not real. Like I don't get that impression. And I mean, I don't know if I did at one point or if I was being influenced, because for a while I was following people who thought like we're all trapped here, and you know um that there's a devil over us. I mean, maybe I'm just being misled, but I believe that my connection with the creator is so strong that even, I don't know, even if there was a trap, that afterward I'm going to be okay. Which is why, and this is probably why I've been called a toxic optimist, is because um, I really feel like no matter how much I can suffer here, what's the worst that's going to happen? The worst is I'm going to die and it's going to be over. And people think that's morbid, but for me, it's actually not. I'm not really afraid of death. Um, I would be more sad for the people that I would leave behind. But I believe so firmly that after we leave here, it's going to be fine. It doesn't matter anyway, you know? Um, so I don't know. Do you think it's like, I don't even, I'm so new to this. I don't want to get myself like in trouble on YouTube, but is it the government? Do you think it's like the sketchy people that are trying to suck us dry with our taxes and, make us slaves, because that we totally are slaves? I do believe that, but I believe that's not on a metaphysical level. I believe we're slaves to the system. Um, and we really are. And it's hard to break out of the slavery. Uh, or do you think people are like sucking us dry for our loosh? Which I kind of believe that could be true. I do believe that like there's some sort of energy meter out there that they can like, when we're just soaking up all this propaganda and all this shit like this, that they can totally harvest that somehow. How do they do it? I don't really know. trying to figure that out too. Oh, I love you. I love you, Sunkiss, so much. Yes, go do your mommy duties. I know. That's why I'm gonna get off soon too, because I gotta get myself together and get ready to pick up my daughter in a little while. I love you. I'll be talking to you, Mama. Mm. Great point. Yes, I see. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. I think, again, just my opinions. I believe that yes, the creator is hands off. I believe it's almost like again, we were created maybe out of boredom. I don't really know. I believe in the beginning, um, or maybe it wasn't even intentional. Maybe our creation spawned out of thought. The same way that when we have thoughts that are persistent enough, we manifest, whether they're bad or good or in between, right? And that goes back to the axiom, as above, so below, as below, so above. So I don't know if the creator even had the intention to make all of this, or if it was a divine spark of thought that manifested itself the same way we manifest, which actually would make sense to me. That it wasn't necessarily like, I don't think he sat down with a sketch pad and said, okay, we're going to make these people this and that, blah, blah, blah. And maybe, perhaps, I don't know. This is some deep thought experiments. Um, Seriously deep thought. Um, I wonder if the see, and I can only speak for our period of time that we're in now. It's very hard, and I don't trust history as it was written. So I don't know what happened before, but maybe just as the creator sparked manifestation of us, maybe our thoughts are manifesting more despair and more suffering on the planet. And the more we have these kind of mindless manifestations, the worse it's going to get. And things have, I feel like, progressively gotten worse over the years here, but I can only speak for the time period we're in. Was it super horrible in the dark ages? I can imagine it was, but I don't even know that time existed, because I do believe that we are being lied to about history for sure, 100%. So I don't even know if any of that is real. um I don't know. It's such a deep conversation. Let me see. Well, see, I don't know if the creator would do that on purpose. I don't know, because I know that we manifest um our realities. We do. Whether it's good or bad or anything. Yeah, Mark, for sure. For sure. Every generation has said it's the end of times. I don't believe it's the end of times. I'm just gonna say it. I know a lot of people do think that, but I've been, and I've been, now I'm about to be 37, month after next in February. So I'm 30, almost 37, since I've been, I don't know, 21, or maybe even, no, probably around, probably like 14, because I was 14 or 15 when 9/11 happened, and I for sure thought it was going to be the end of the world. And then we had a prediction about the 2012, where that's going to be the end of the world. And then, it always seems like it's going to be the end of the world, but maybe we're manifesting all of this horrible stuff. And maybe the people at the top who are using the propaganda and stuff know, maybe they do know that much, that we are manifesting all of these horrible things. Maybe they do have like an inside knowledge about that, but I don't think the creator did that, is my original point. I don't believe that the creator of the Old Testament, like the man, whoever that guy, I don't even know, because I never read the Old or the New Testament, only briefly, little excerpts here and there. I don't believe in some hellish God who does all these bad things. I believe people have the capability of evil, for sure. We've seen it. A lot of us have experienced the evil of man. Um, so I do believe we're capable of that. But maybe that's the duality. Maybe in creation and in the manifestation of God's mind, the duality was also created. And then you would have a dark energy, or the archetype of the devil, we would say. No, I don't believe the creator makes mistakes at all. At all. Um, I don't believe there is any mistake. I believe that bad things happen. We know that. Um, and I believe that certain things are worse than others. But I don't believe, like, I don't think there's some predestination in each of our lives that once we're on this path, or once we're born, once we incarnate, that we are going to follow these set of extreme circumstances one way or another. I believe that little bits, like the butterfly effect almost, little bits here and there, really determine the course of our lives. I believe, had I been born 3 minutes later than I was, my life could have potentially been way different. And I know it doesn't seem like that's possible, but I think our reality is so interwoven that it's like a jelly net in some sort of metaphysical way that we can't even fathom, really. And I believe that every ripple affects, no matter what. um and I think we could also put that towards an intention, though, where we can say, okay, I'm going to make this move, and I'm going to help this particular area of society, or I'm going to put my love into the homeless, or victims of abuse. I'm going to help in this sort of certain type of way, and people are prompted to do that out of, I don't know, I don't know if it's divine intervention or anything, but I think there are helpers out here that we're prompted to do things that then change the course of other people's lives as well. And then they go on to change the course of other people's lives as well. I'm also a believer, though, and this will probably get me in trouble. I'm also a believer that, um, um, how can I put this? That when we're faced with obstacles, and some of them are really bad, that if we're able to overcome them, we are much more equipped to deal with obstacles further down the line. Um, and I won't go into like super detail about any of this stuff, and I'm sure everybody can use their imaginations. But a lot of bad stuff happens to kids, right? And they don't deserve it. I don't believe that they have karma that they're paying off. All right, I'm going to put that out there too. They do. Bottom line, they don't deserve it. But if they are able to overcome, they can go on to do such incredible things. Um, yeah, and I don't believe that the creator makes mistakes at all. I think everything happens for a reason, even if we don't understand the reason, even if we don't have that 10,000-foot view of exactly what's going on our plane. I believe there is a reason for it. We just can't, we don't have the level of consciousness to understand what the reason is. Oh man, yes. Yes, I believe that too, Ian. I do believe that. And that, if you look into, and I think this was even on one of your streams, um, the Book of the Dead, and, in the Buddhist traditions, how you would have, and even ancient Egyptians, also, you would have to go through these layers after death also. Um, but, I'm still unsure as to what that means, because could that be all metaphorical? And it probably is. If I'm going to be realistic, again, we don't know what happens. We don't have that privilege, but it's probably metaphorical, where, we pass over the veil, and then we are possibly confronted by these trials and these hellish experiences. And maybe we have to walk through a hell like experience to get, beyond that, into our next incarnation or into the next level. But that could also be what I've heard from these near death experiences, where they're reflecting back on the bad shit that they did. Um, and that's like a really hard thing to come to terms with, that we would have to look at ourselves hurt somebody else, and feel the pain that somebody who has been hurt by us felt at the time. Man, that sounds hellish. To me, that sounds absolutely hellish. And I could definitely see that being a part of, passing on, and you would have to get through that. And even to have it be a learning experience, you have to say, you see, look, Mary, look what you did. Look, feel how it felt to be in that person's position. Sometimes when I yell at my daughter, if she's being really naughty or whatever, um, oh my God, I feel so bad afterward. And I lose my temper, and, it sucks, because who wants to lose their temper? We don't want that. And all I can think about is, man, if I was in her little shoes, I would be fucking terrified. And how horrible must it be for this little child to be getting yelled at by somebody they love? And I get glimpses of that here on earth. I can't imagine having it be compounded after death into a whole lifetime of, maybe you weren't even aware you're fucking somebody over, and you do that, and you have no idea what goes on with them. That is hellish. I can definitely see us having to go through something like that. Aw, Ian, you're the best. Yeah, so if you're talking about Jesus, I'm not a Christian, so I don't follow that ideology. I do believe in the Christ like, um attributes that we could strive for, because it's a great story, it's a great metaphor. I believe that even the crucifixion has a much deeper metaphor to it. I haven't gone deep into that though, because again, I'm not a Christian. At one time, maybe when I was a kid, I would have considered myself a Christian, but I haven't been since at least like 12 years old. I didn't identify as that. Um, yeah, but no creator would do that. Or who knows? Maybe the creator would. Maybe the creator sent out, because if you do follow that train of thought, then I believe Jesus said, I'm the son of God just as you are, and you and you and you and you, and went around the room, you are all sons and daughters of God. So maybe he does, and maybe that is the metaphor. We're sent out here, and then that's it. We make our choices, and we can go out and do these things. It's like that's a super deep subject, but since I'm not super well versed on Christianity and all of those stories, I know the premise, right? The general premise, but the Old Testament God is for sure like something out of a horror movie. You know, a lot of those old scriptures and stuff, that's some dark shit right there. And I can't even imagine having that as my ideology that I would wake up and deal with every day, or go to a church on a Sunday and worship. Yeah, no way. And it's, maybe it's easier to do that. I feel like a lot of the time it's much easier to just be a religious zombie, go to church, believe what you're told. It's a uh, much less chaotic life to just believe everything you're told. When you don't, like the people in this community, we are so distrusting of nearly everything. Um, it's much harder to find your own way and to figure this stuff out. Uh, and to be an atheist is one step farther. You have to. There's only a certain type of person that can be an atheist, and not. I'm not even knocking atheists because I believe that everybody gets the right to do whatever they want with themselves. Uh, but that must be tough. I can't imagine. I would be afraid to die. If I was an atheist, I would be terrified to die, because then you really do think it's the end. It's the end. There's nothing else. You're worm food, and then that's it. But again, it's about seeing the bigger picture, I think, and I don't know if we can see the bigger picture right now. Um, oh, hey, Malcolm. It's good to see you in here. Yeah, thanks for coming to support me. Oh my God, I gotta wrap this up. Um, because I'm just on about an hour now, and I was supposed to leave 20 minutes ago. And then, of course, because I can't shut my yap, I have to go on and on and on and on. But let's end it on a positive note, because I do believe, even if we don't know the answers right now, all these little mind experiments, these thought experiments that we do with ourselves and with the group, I think it's not only fascinating because I absolutely love it. This is my favorite type of thing to talk about, with myself and with the chat and everybody else online, and a couple people in my life. But I believe it's also entertaining to use your brain to think about weird little things that could be going on in our reality. I so it's not only interesting and thought provoking in that sense, but it's also entertaining, and it's better than sitting on your ass and watching some baloney on TV. That is definitely programming and all that stuff. All right, guys. Well, I am going to end this now because I got to get my ass ready to go. So I love you all. Thank you for coming by, everybody who did. I appreciate it. And hopefully next time, I'll be more organized and I could get somebody up on the panel to chat with me, and we can argue or we can not argue. We can vibe, and we can maybe sing Christmas songs, because why not? Right? No, I'm kidding. I won't be singing any Christmas songs. All right. Let me just say hi to everybody and bye to everybody. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. I know there's not a ton of people here right now, but I love you all. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you guys on the next. And hopefully, I'll be able to join Sunkissed on Saturday. All right. Much love, guys. Peace out. I'll see you next time.